that's what we'll focus on today, in more perspective on marketing for search for social media accounts. Sorry about that. Let me get this opened up here and I will share my screen. Okay, so we'll start with some priming. We're going to tell it a little bit about, ourselves as an auction company, right? So my business is a small auction house in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we sell retail returns and other small consignments upon request. We ship nationwide, and we process consignments faster than any other auction house in the country. There's a little bit about us. We'll pop that in there. Let's see if it can focus and pick that up. Usually it's going to correct what you're doing. Based on this information, please review auctionfuel.com and revise your summary. So thinking through this, it's, tell it a little bit about your business, then have it look at your website. That's really all we're doing so far. So we're priming, we're leading it to water, if you will. So we wanted to learn a little bit about the business before it starts diving in deeper and telling us how to market our company. We wanted to know more about us. So here we go. Now we're getting pretty confident in our description. It's compelling. It sounds, something to be proud of. This is a good start. So as it starts reading through that, we're getting somewhere, right? So based on this information, come up with a marketing plan for the next 30 days on social media accounts such, it knows what those are, on include daily and weekly targets and KPIs, we'll say, key performance indicators. This is where it gets exciting. So imagine asking someone on your team to come up with this, and it's going to take them a week, to come up with this data, to be able to summarize it in a format like this is doing now, to help you really get your business out there. And this is, again, I've said it before, I'll say it every training, priming and prompting is how you use AI. Point blank, that's it. That's all I have to say. I could drop the mic, I could leave. As long as everybody understands that, it doesn't matter what you ask it to do. If you prime it and you prompt it right and you take a shot, you just take a shot, just see what it puts out. As you do that, it's going to generate information for you that is just outstanding. It gets you 90% of the way there. Remember, like, we want to get 90% of the way there. 90% is, it's a pretty good grade. So when we talk about, retail returns or your lots in auction, your estate sales items, if good enough is good enough for items that are losing you money today, then do that. But on a marketing plan, probably not. You probably want to, put your due diligence into this after the fact, and it's going to get us 90% of the way there. So you can see here, it's going to talk about our primary goals or KPIs, right? We're going to grow awareness. We want to grow our followers target of 15%. It's not going to track that for you. You can tie it in to your account and try to, bump numbers into it, and it will help you, analyze KPIs, of course. That's a whole different training session, of course, is using AI to analyze spreadsheets, but we'll be doing something like that in the near future. Driving consignment leads, that's a miss. That's not what we're looking for this business specifically. Our goal is retail returns. We buy and sell retail returns. So I put that in there, but my bad. That's not something that in specific that this company's focused on. More focused on retail returns. We help friends out when they want consigned merchandise, but other than that, we don't like that. So I need to figure out how to pull that out. Boosting auction participation. Oh yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't want to boost the participation, get your bidder base up, get those emails collected, those phone numbers collected? That's the real intrinsic value of our auction businesses when it boils down to it. Showcase speed and success. You want to focus on that. With the auction fuel brand using Listernaut, it's the fastest. Like you can put us up against any auction company out there. We hope to do the same for your business. Our goal is to catalog 500 plus items per day per person, and that is attainable with not ease, but you're not going to break a sweat doing it. It's just going to keep you busy. Building our email list, new email subscribers. We want 100 email subscribers. We want as many as we can get, right? So those are pretty good, with the exception of driving consignment leads. Here are our themes. It's going to focus on speed matters. Of course, we want to highlight that. If we're looking to grow our consignment base, that's really what we can boast. We like to pass that on to our Listernaut, partners and clients. As we don't want to be the fastest auction house in the U.S. We have an auction house. We process retail returns. We're part of a reverse logistics, community, and it's our testing space, right? So we use our auction fuel brand to test our Listernaut software, to bring it to you and to know what we're talking about, right? If you talk to any other software company that's in the cataloging space, ask them some questions about auctions, see how it goes, see what they know about, returns, past lots, things of that nature. They might be able to talk the talk a little bit, but when it gets down to the nitty gritty, let's talk about, consulting on, increasing profit margins in your auction house. And let's talk about an operational efficiency plan. Not trying to boast, but that's what we like to do here at Listernaut. I like to help the industry. From returns to revenue, how we turn overstock into money, right? Great vein. Consignor success stories, highlighting real consignors. In lieu of consignors, we would probably, say highlighting real, partners. B-Stock, for example, retail returns, liquidation.com, Pattern, all the companies that are out there that we work with to push retail returns through our system. Retail returns, I have to drop it right now. It's $2.2 trillion in the U.S. alone of retail returns each year that go to auction houses across the United States. If you're not in the space, it's a great way to stay busy. It's very inexpensive if you want to buy the product to sell, and also if you can find someone to consign it to you, a big outfit like Home Depot, for example. That's a great way to just keep the team busy, keep operating, and it's not junk. It's anything from brand new electric lawnmowers to saunas. We've seen all sorts of stuff. Amazon, as you know, sells everything. So it can be anything that you're working with there. So highlighting, in lieu of consignors, we're going to focus on suppliers and partners. Behind the scenes, the workflow, the team, the listing speed. We talk a lot about our listing speed. Some people know about our listing speed. Some people are seeing it firsthand and boosting profitability and scaling their businesses. Putting that in real life examples, of course, would be great to show. If we're trying to promote ourselves to directly to the Home Depots of the world, for example. Why would Home Depot choose an auction house? Well, that auction house better be able to take on some serious volume, right? And so that's where the listing speed really does come into play when dealing with suppliers and partners, not necessarily consignors. But for you, absolutely, are you backed up by, months, years? How backed up are you? And I would ask why and how far, how can you catch back up? Because if I'm a bankruptcy attorney or a trustee in the state, or I'm just a company that's filing bankruptcy, I want my money, right? And so I don't want to wait 6 months for my money because operations aren't efficient enough with a certain company. I want to be able to say, how are you employing AI in your business to go faster, to keep up? I want to see money in 90 days. I'll give you, a lot of them are like net 30 terms, and I want it turned around right away, right? So that's a whole different world. A lot of us in the space and the industry are used to that conversation, and staying on top of things is where that listing speed comes into play again. Daily content schedule. I mean, look at this. It's fantastic, right? So Monday, just arrived inventory teaser, highlight 3 to 5 cool items. Tuesday, a video reel, speed in action, 30-second time lapse of your process. Wednesday, auction tip of the week, why retail returns sell best in bundles, for example. I like that. That's interesting. Testimonial or consignor spotlight on Thursday, so think about a short quote or photo from a consignor or someone that you work with often. Friday, your business's challenge. How fast can you list it? Guess the final bid. I like that. Some sort of a interactive conversation with your fans, right, or your followers, is to get them engaged in any reaction to your posts is a fantastic outcome, right? It shows interactivity. They're going to be following you. They're going to keep an eye on what you're doing, and they have interest. Saturday, behind the scenes photo dump, show the warehouse shipping team efforts, show your team, a little behind the scenes action. I like that too. Sunday, recap of top lots sold. So top 5 sales of the week, builds urgency for buyers, consigners. This is something that I think as an industry, we definitely don't do good enough. Found myself last night looking at a client's auction house and some online past auctions that they did. And it's maddening when you look at that sort of thing and you're like, I can't believe that sold for that little. I would have bought that. What a missed investment opportunity. And that's really what it comes down to. If you can make people consider that, it drives a frenzy. It's almost like an addiction that folks can get into a frenzy about, right? So you want to think about how you get engage your client base or your followers to visit, often, and visit early, visit often, and constantly keep coming back. And really, it's, if you can play to emotions or you can play to a financial miss, it's something that is super valuable, right? Like if I told you I bought NVIDIA at $200 a share. I know it's not at $200 a share now, but I bought it 7 years ago. You'd be like, wow, that's great. Oh, lucky you. I wish I would have bought it when it dipped and the tariff issue was going on. Now, imagine you could predict the market, or you could watch it and have insight and control the buy, right? This is kind of like that. So if you're doing a put or a call, or you're investing in the market, and you have a chance to buy things that are great investments for set flat prices, you just have to stay on it and watch it. That's where the frenzy comes in. That's where the addictive nature of auctions come in. So playing to that, that's a big one. I love that one. Weekly reporting and adjustments. So it's telling us what to track now. So this is where it's even going as far as to do the analysis for us, right? So you can track each Monday your top performing post, your reach plus engagement. All social media platforms tell you how many likes you get, how many views you had. Website clicks from each platform. A little more digging into your administrative side of your social media account, but you can see that as well. Form fills from consignment interest. In that case, that may be something that you get overwhelming feedback on. The goal here is, finding the right consignment and the right partners, of course. So tailoring it more to that might be a whole different marketing campaign on its own. I wasn't very specific as to what we wanted to get out of it, but I will be here in just a few minutes, right? So now you focus on your followers gained and lost, new email subscribers. These are all really relevant and valuable things that The robot here just told us about and got us again 90% of the way there. I'm gonna probe it and probe it again. I'm gonna prompt it once more to say, focus on getting me more bidders, because that's all I care about. In this instance, you may say, no, focus on getting me more consigners. Whatever you focus on is really that prompting, right? So we primed it, we told it about ourselves. Now we want to prompt it, tell it what to do, tell it what to do, tell it what to do. Right? Like imagine that this is an employee with no emotions. Just ask it, tell it what to do. You don't have to be polite to it. Platforms to focus on here. It's focusing on our top platforms here. We of course focus on these and enjoy each of these very much. TikTok's great to go viral. It can get us, thousands of views on videos that are exciting in very short order. It can really explode your company's presence. It's more national or international, so it's not super, locally focused. Again, with LinkedIn's going to be the same kind of thing, but LinkedIn's going to get the attention of the people that are in the high consignment space, the bankruptcy attorneys, the trustees, the industrial contacts. If they see it and they like it and they find you, that's big money, right? And so that's where LinkedIn comes in handy. Facebook and Instagram, that's getting more locally focused. So if you want to, find more local business, get more subscribers, get more followers, as we all do, like those are the two key areas that I can't encourage you to focus on enough is Facebook and Instagram. So local, a little larger reaching, but option to go viral, which is getting tens of thousands, millions of views and likes. And then of course your big money potential consigner focus is on LinkedIn. Bonus ideas. Here's a couple more things that are like, oh yeah, hey, let's go above and beyond more than what we just put together there. So a weekly live stream, Auction Fuel Fridays, where you preview upcoming items on the floor, right? Everybody wants to preview. Nobody wants to drive out. You always have the same people preview, right? And then the people that win don't preview. They just win. They bid it up and go. So tailoring the presentation here to the folks that are actually going to bid to win is important. The people that come in and preview and kick tires, usually they're just tire kickers. They want something to do. So putting it out there for the rest of us, go for it, right? That's a good thing. That's a good advice. Story polls, would you bid on this? Guess the sold price. Cool, catchy, but good luck with that one. Unless you have thousands of followers and there's something in it for them, usually these polls don't work. You might get 2 people leave feedback, which is embarrassing, right? So I don't like that one. Take that one out. Flash giveaways, however, that's everybody wants something for free, right? So tag a reseller, win free shipping. Like, great idea, especially in our case. But you might say, tag somebody who wants to fix up their home, or tag a contractor, or tag a reseller in this case too. Whatever you're looking for, you replace reseller with whoever that might be. So from here, what we're going to tell it is create a similar plan focusing on do not include polls. That's how much I don't like them. If you're a huge company and you can do polls, then good for you. I think when you look at like Facebook, the auction, group, sure, you can do polls there because people are engaged, and that is our industry. We do care. If you're asking bidders and just random folks out there to bid on certain things, or to vote and rank on certain things, it better be exciting, right? If it's super exciting, sure. I mean, make it political, that might be a problem. But that's really what we found is like when you put a poll out there and you're like, it's something silly about your business that is selfish, to your marketing, thinking and growth, like crickets is what you get. No one seems to engage with those. So that's why I removed it. Again, so now it's changed our KPIs. You can see here it's talking about attracting new bidders, increasing bidding engagement, improving final sales prices. Love that. Build awareness of inventory types and grow repeat bidders. Now we're on to something, right? So we went from 90% of the way there. Okay, that sounds cool. To now we're 95% of the way there. Now going through this and doing our KPIs and doing the tracking. I mean, that's another 5%. That's what we need to do. But as long as you prime it and you prompt it and you get it right where you want it to be, you've saved yourself hours of time. It's something that is super efficient. It's a great tool. It's not going anywhere. AI might as well be, another revolution. It's like the Industrial Revolution all over again. People at all Fortune 50, all Fortune 500 companies are taught in training when they start at their company. My son, I know this, just started at Dell. And so what we found is that week one was how to use AI. I mean, and that was mind blowing. Like, you hear it's cheating, you hear this, you hear that, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're teaching how to use AI at big companies. And of course they are, because who can come up with this? And I mean, literally, if I would shut up and just do it, we're talking about like 2 minutes that this took me to do. So yeah, use AI. Yeah. It's changed up our weekly themes a little bit here. So you can see that, why bid with us, best bids of the week, what's in this week's auction, how to win auctions. These things are exciting. I struggle to, I can't figure this out, right? Like, so if auctioneers are, one of the oldest industries in the world, right? It's been around since the dawn of time, the dawn of man. But you can't find good stuff all the time. It's not mainstream. It's like, well, there's eBay. That's not real. That's not a real auction platform. So, getting out in front of people, they want to buy at auction. They want to, find those items that you have a hard time finding anywhere else in the world. But bringing them to water again, we want to make sure that we're able to, find those bidders out there that are going to spend good money and getting our awesome products in front of them. So we've jumped again to the daily content scheduler. If you hate all this, you can have it, revise it with different prompts. But this is more tailored to what we've asked it to do. So Monday bidding opens alert, and now announce your new auctions. 3 hero lots, like 3 really awesome lots, of course, would be a fantastic way to garner interest from people. Like, just saying we have another auction and we always sell the same thing, that doesn't get new people to sign up. It also doesn't encourage your bidders to be like, oh man, I want that. Now, when you do it that way, then you bring back the bidders, and then they're fighting again and they're addicted to your auctions again. So focusing on that is great advice. Thanks, ChatGPT. Tuesday, running a reel, the best auction deals, like a recap, highlight items that sold at jaw-dropping prices. This is FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, hey, you missed out on this item that everyone wants, right? It's an unbelievable saw you missed out on. It's a $900 saw and it's sold for $92, right? That gets people to that FOMO again. It's not just investment related. It's not just financially related. It's like a psychological thing. It's fear of missing out. It's called FOMO. It has an acronym, for crying out loud. So play to that. Great advice again, Mr. GPT, Mr. Mrs. GPT. Wednesday, Bidders Guide Tip of the Week, teaching max bids, timing, registration walkthrough rather. Like, I don't know why it's so hard to register for auctions. I mean, these platforms need to catch up quick. They need to get ahead of the curve. A lot of them are struggling and just now creating APIs, but yada, yada, yada. I digress. Thursday, featured lot spotlight, show off top electronics or tools or rare items. Again, FOMO, get people interested. Friday, why smart shoppers bid here. This is, I love this, right? I didn't come up with this, so I'm just seeing this for the first time, but this is fantastic. People that buy at auction usually get it more than most, right? I finally got it. How we kind of started our business was my partner Jeff Kaplan and I. Before all of this, I was flipping houses, and he told me, look at this local auction house and see what they're doing with their construction supplies. I bought flooring for my houses that I was for 10 cents a square foot. I did, unbelievable profits on the houses I was flipping, because if you find these things in auction and you stay on it, like, there's not a better way to buy. It's the best way to buy in the world, right? And so I love that. Saturday, bidding in soon, countdown reel, urgency. I like that. Nobody likes to get emails all the time, but they don't, if they're seeing it on social media, which we're all stuck in our phones, right? That can be great. So I do like that one too. Sunday, the weekly recap, top bidders and items, showing activity, top spenders, anonymous, of course, right? And then the biggest steals, again, like push FOMO, push. These are just psychological things that we're gonna focus on to get people there. Bonus weekly incentives. Again, this is something that we can grow above and beyond what we're doing with our daily emails, but email list growth tie-in, want to preview inventory, join our bidder list, getting subscribers. I love getting subscribers. If there's something that you can sell to give a VIP experience, that would be a lovely thing to tie in here. Bidding starts now, last, pushing that to 30,000 followers on Facebook is no joke. And it's not something that they unsubscribe from. If you email them all the time, it's easy to click unsubscribe. Then maybe they forget they did it and they never see your emails again. Shipping made easy reel, address key bidder concern. Focusing on that shipping is great advice too. A lot of folks don't think auctions ship. Platforms for growth, same thing. Again, in this case, they've taken LinkedIn out and they focus on YouTube Shorts, because we're not looking for consigners, we're looking for new bidders. So that's a good switch out. I agree with that. GPT. Weekly reporting, tracking every Monday. It tells you, again, exactly what to track, and then you can start establishing your KPIs and they follow what this is doing, and watch the success of it, right? Like, this is a marketing genius in a box that we're pulling out, and it's free. It's $20 a month to use GPT. You can use, other platforms for this. The best platform for actually creating these marketing plans, I've heard, is Llama. Llama is another LLM app. Facebook owns it, Meta owns it. So I've tried that, but I really like what GPT is putting out. So I can't disagree, because I didn't try both, but Llama's another good one. Perplexity as well. So now it's asking, should I build this into a ready-to-use calendar, draft sample post templates or real scripts, create a flyer ad to promote registration? Yes, do that. And then it's going to create everything that we need to roll this out. I can have this turned into a PDF by simply typing turn this into a PDF, or turn this into a Word doc or a Google doc. It really does so much work for you that it's just silly not to be trying this out and playing with it for almost every aspect of your business. If you don't have an AI plan for 2025, I very strongly encourage you to start thinking about that. Or what's the alternative? So think about the alternative. Like, if you don't use AI and everyone else around you does, and everybody's doing this and they're doing everything else faster and better and stronger, and you don't, consider your options. Just consider your options is all I'm saying. So it's a beautiful thing. I will share this video with everyone. I don't think that the relevance of what we're outputting here from GPT makes sense for everybody on the call, but certainly the priming and the prompting conversations do. So we will share our recording with everyone. We're also posting all recordings on our YouTube channel for anyone to see after the fact. They'll be on there under our AI training playlist. So if you have any time to check those out or share them, they're out there. So Thank you. That's all we have for today. I appreciate everybody joining.